Witcher. Here's meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's now 7 o'clock, getting us started here on this good old Where's All My Stuff here this morning. How about we'll just come to the camera shot here for just a second, see if I can get a few things updated here. Anyways, good morning. It's a rainy and soggy start to the day. The rain showers are going to be with us here through the morning hours, but not last all day long. But the clouds are likely to be lingering throughout much of the day today. And because of all this rain, it is going to make for a very soggy and slow-going commute across East Tennessee here this morning. So see if we can get this fixed a little bit. There we go. All right, see if we can't get this back up on here so you can actually see the radar. There we go, my friends. Now we're back into action here this morning. All right, so that's a radar loop over the last 3 hours. You can really see how the rain showers have settled on in. Look at 40 and Paper Mill this morning. It is soggy and slow going on the interstates. Traffic seems to be running smoothly, but a lot of backsplash on the roadways here already this morning. When you look at rainfall totals over the last 24 hours, some of us have picked up some decent amount of rain. Tom Perry, one of my Witcher weather watchers, reporting 98 hundredths of an inch of rain in and around the Powell area. Generally speaking, Doppler estimated over the last 24 hours has anywhere been from just over a tenth of an inch in Tri-Cities to over a half an inch at McGee-Tyson Airport, same with Chattanooga, and upwards of an inch of rain also in Scott County. Again, this is Doppler estimated, but definitely looking at some much needed and beneficial rain. Yesterday, we made it to 69 degrees in Knoxville, 68 in Chattanooga, and low to mid 60s Crossville and Tri-Cities. However, we are talking about some cooler temperatures to arrive throughout the day today. Not much of a warm up on the way. Kids heading off to school, yep, soggy. They're getting wet this morning. We're in the 40s and 50s, but we'll climb into the low 60s as the kids head home from school throughout the day today. All right, visibility-wise, not really looking at fog per se, but obviously we do have the overcast gray skies and the rain showers that are falling around town. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, so cooler than what we've been dealing with over the last, several weeks anyways. However, when you look at our 24-hour temperature trend, we're actually trending a little bit warmer this morning thanks to the cloud coverage during the overnight hours, keeping our temperatures a little bit more elevated, if you will, this morning, but still on the cool side. And the rain never really helps. It always makes you feel colder when it's damp outside. All right, so here's our future cast. We pick up our timeline here at 7 o'clock this morning. And as we head through the day today, we'll continue to see those rain showers slowly work their way on out. So I think between 10 and noon, most of the rain comes to an end. The rain's not going to last all day long, but yes, most of us are getting pretty soggy this morning. As we get past the lunch hour, though, we'll continue to see mostly cloudy skies. Now, I can't rule out maybe a couple of spotty stray light showers through the day today. It's going to be overcast and dreary, kind of a damp afternoon. And so with that said, by the end of the day, we're not looking at a ton of rain. But from now through the end of the day, again, still looking at some decent amount of rain to work its way through the area. Again, we start the morning off with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. By lunchtime, not much of a warm-up. We're going to be in the 50s, maybe a couple pockets of 60s. So thanks to the rain and the clouds this morning, we're just not going to see those temperatures warm up quickly. And that is going to keep our high temperatures for the day today in the 50s and 60s, which is average for this time of year. So can I get an amen to that? Finally, some average weather is on the way here for the day. We've been trending above average for the entire month so far. And finally, some cooler air. But with the cooler air comes the cloudier skies sometimes and the rain showers. So as we get into the evening hours, again, temperatures don't fluctuate a whole lot from afternoon highs. It's a slow drop of those temps. Between 6 and 8 o'clock, we'll see those temps go from 57 at 6 down to 53 by 8 o'clock here tonight. Good morning, Betty. How are you this morning? We've got Debbie joining us along with Kimberly. Hello. And Tom just gave you a report, Tom. Thanks for the report this morning through the Witcher's Pictures, through the Witcher's Weather Watchers chat that we have ongoing all the time, 24/7. All right, so here's the big picture. Here's the evolution of the storm. I like to show you the big picture to kind of put it into perspective of how things are playing out. Maybe you have travel plans around the region. Again, that northwesterly flow continues, so I think the clouds are going to hang pretty strong throughout the day tomorrow. Saturday morning, we're likely to have the mostly cloudy skies, and I took some notes this morning. I actually think Saturday morning we'll have the clouds, and then on Sunday morning, we're likely to have some fog. Dew points drop pretty quickly throughout the day on Sunday. So the air doesn't really start to dry out until Sunday, at which point dew points will quickly drop through the day. But again, high pressure is the name of the game for the weekend. If you're heading down to Georgia for the football game, should be perfect football weather on Saturday. If you're staying here locally, a great Saturday and Sunday ahead of us. It's already Thursday. which is great. These weeks are flying by, right? And I hope you have had a great week so far. So I've got a 70% chance of rain today, and that's just through about 10 o'clock this morning. After 10 o'clock this morning, we'll drop that down to about a 10 to 20% chance at best. Then we stay dry Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Rain chances start to ramp up as we get into next week. I'm going to start low. We'll slowly taper up as need be based on how the evolution of this next storm system plays out. Before we talk about next week, let's talk about Tropical Depression number 19. Winds sustained at 35, gusting, well, not really gusting a whole lot, at least per the latest guidance from the National Hurricane Center. It is tracking to the west at 15. It's going to be very slow moving as it works its way just on the northern side of Honduras, working its way towards Belize and also the Yucatan Peninsula. And eventually, that will scoot its way up into the Gulf of Mexico. I know I posted this yesterday. A lot of people were asking, I hope this is not like Milton. I hope it's not like Milton. I did post that it's going to be similar to Milton, but I apologize, okay? I didn't go above and beyond and explain why it's not going to be a Milton, so it created a little bit of a stir on social media yesterday. The only reason I say it's going to be like Milton is because it's going to move from west to east from the central Gulf into probably about the Big Bend, Tampa, Florida area, and likely to weaken. Probably just a little open wave. Probably not going to amount to a whole lot, but again, subject to change. We'll keep you posted on that. The reason why it's going to scoot its way from west to east over Florida is because of how the upper level winds are playing out, and that's a westerly wind thanks to our next trough moving its way on through. So average high for this time of year, 61. More seasonable weather today and tomorrow. It will start to warm up a little bit on Saturday. More Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there are some changes on the way. Dew points stay a little bit on the elevated side. Not bad, but 40s and 50s. That means our morning lows will likely stay in the 40s and 50s. But as we get into next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're talking about much colder morning lows and much cooler afternoon highs. Thanks to this big trough of low pressure that's going to be digging across the Great Plains and moving its way into the southeastern U.S. There have been some evolution changes over the last 24 to 36 hours on this. So again, subject to change. That's why we start low. We slowly ramp up as we get closer to the event. You'll never hear me guessing on something that's too far out. But as we pick up our timeline on Thursday, these are potential, don't take these to heart, these are potential high temperatures. This is all model data. But notice the 40s, 50s, and 30s, even off to our north and west, they might scoot their way in. So Thursday into Friday and maybe even Saturday, the air may stick around with us across town. So let's check in on those 7-day forecasts. Rain this morning. Rain comes to an end, man. Just mostly cloudy skies as we get into our Friday, Saturday morning. Saturday into Sunday, more sunshine does return to the area. And then we'll be tracking our next system next week, giving us elevated rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and maybe even a few flurries flying across the highest peaks of the plateau and the mountains. It doesn't look like it's going to be a big snow event at this point of the game, but it does look like it's going to bring us the coldest air of the season. And as the weather changes every single day, if you're joining us on social media and you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, now's a good time to prepare to get the information from a trusted source here in East Tennessee. And remember, I'm not just an app, so you know. I'm all over social media, but I am all digital. Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, all social media, soon to the market. I've been saying this for a while, but they're still working on it. Would be Apple TV. And if you're an Apple TV person, hopefully soon you'll be able to get Apple TV on there as well. And don't forget, if you open up the East Tennessee Weather app right now, whenever East Tennessee Weather is live, you will see us front and center right there at the top of the app, getting you what you need to know. It's a great resource. It's a great thing to have. And it only shows up on the app when we are live. So that would be for Wake Up with Witcher and or any severe or inclement weather that may move its way on through. Easy time, okay? Just maybe some flurries. I mean, it is the coldest air of the season. I showed you what the models look like yesterday. Then I showed you just a moment ago that pocket of colder air. The evolution of that pocket of colder air, like I mentioned, has changed a little bit. So that's why in due time, I mean, we're talking a week away. You know how I feel about long-range forecasting. Not a huge fan, but I try to do what I can. Renee says she loves the app. Yay! Thanks, Renee. Appreciate that. Anybody happen to see social media yesterday? I had a chance to go to Grace Christian Intermediate School yesterday. And it was a lot of fun. Got to go talk to the fifth graders, 75 fifth graders. Here's me in action. Let's see if we can get a bigger picture of that. Let's see. There we go. No, it's not going to get bigger, but we'll make it bigger. There's me in action, talking to the kids, pointing them out. Like, come on, kids, what do you got? Look at them all the hands are up. Had a great time over at Grace Christian Academy. We also we always take a picture. So there's the big group of kids. They were amazing, had amazing questions. And so that was a lot of fun. And then last night, my son had a chance to start his very first basketball practice. There's him right there on the left-hand side with the socks pulled all the way up to the top. He's never played basketball before, but he plays at school, so we signed him up for basketball. It was really cute last night. Going in, he didn't know any friends, right? And that's nerve-wracking. And he's like, Dad, I'm really nervous. What if I'm not good? I said, well, you're not going to be good right now. But as I always say, practice never makes perfect. And I tell my kids all the time this, practice never makes perfect. It makes better, makes improvements, right? Look at the professionals. I told them last night when we went to bed, I said, look at professional athletes or even college athletes or any athlete, but even the professionals who are getting paid big time bucks. What do? They practice every single day. Why? Because nobody is perfect. So don't ever fool yourself. Nobody's perfect. Kelly says, love that. So thankful you're willing to come to our schools. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a teacher joining us this morning, you want me to come out to your school, you want East Tennessee Weather there, hit me up. I do have a link on the East Tennessee Weather website. That's eastTNweather.com. Just click on contact, and then you can click on the school visits form. That comes into a folder on my computer in my email for just school visits, so I can kind of, I don't get a lot of like junk mail so far, but you know how email is, right? All of a sudden you start signing up for things and you start getting this junk on email. All right, Angela says, yay, got you on Roku now. Yay, that's awesome. Big shout out to Angela this morning. Again, so if you have smart TVs, you can put it on Roku or YouTube or Amazon Fire and just watch the 24-hour weather channel while you're getting ready for work or kids getting ready for school. It's an easy, clean, efficient way of getting your weather information for the day without having to subject your kids, if you don't want your kids to watch the local news. And so, we've proven over the years that people watch local news for weather information. Yes, I know you watch it for local news as well. But the number one reason people watch local news is for weather information. All right. Anyway, so that's what I want to do is clean things up and make things as easy as possible, which many of you know that by now. But for some that may be joining that are new to the platform this morning, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up with Witcher and the East Tennessee Weather Platform. Roz says the Witcher beard is coming in nice. You should wait to shave December 1st, 2025. Wow. Let's not do that. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. Name the movie. Go. Anybody? Kayla says, my son loves basketball. Tell him the same. I hope your son loves it. You know what? He was a champ. He was running like crazy, really getting at and hustling last night. For somebody that didn't know anybody and just got right in there and played. He's a very much of an athlete. He just walks like an athlete, looks like an athlete, he runs like an athlete. It's amazing how two kids can be exact opposite of each other. My brothers and I were a little bit more similar. More so my older brother. We both played sports and we both were pretty active. My younger brother, not nearly as much. But it's just crazy how different people are when they're cut from the same cloth. Cool stuff, though. Let's see. You should come to work. Come to work with you. I've been to your work, Katrina. You weren't there. Just saying, my friend. Just saying. But I got to meet you in Morristown for the football game, and I'm so glad to have met you, and I've had lunch with you. There we go. Big shout out to Nathan this morning. Anybody else get the Happy Gilmore? There we go. Nathan was the first one. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. One of my favorite movies of all times. What's up, Beth? How are you this morning? Hey, we've got Janie on here. Gentle Ben. Where am I missing something here? I don't know. Maybe you're quoting the movie. I don't even know what Gentle Ben is. So if I missed something, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Grizzly Adams, yes. But for those of you that are new to the platform, the reason I am growing my beard, yes, typically we are clean shaven on TV. Why? I don't know. It's just been the way it is. I've never really been able to grow a beard on TV. I've always been able to want to. But we are raising money for a great cause. We're raising money for the Bread Basket, the food pantry in Cott County, helping the flood victims in Upper East Tennessee. Listen, they need over $200,000 to keep their food pantry up and running. Let's see where they currently are. Last time I checked, they're still only at $10,000. Their goal is $200,000. And so, again, if you just go to eastTNweather.com or the East Tennessee Weather app, right there at the top of the screen, I do have a link to donate. I say this all the time when we raise money for our community, but if everybody that joined the platform this morning, however many are on here this morning, if everybody donated $1, we would make a huge difference in our community, right? If everybody saw this through the day today, we could raise a lot of money for just $1. So, just a little bit. Let's see what the camera looks like. Okay, let's take you back outside, show you our live camera, which also you can get online at eastTNweather.com. Of course, the East Tennessee Weather app. Our very first live camera that's running on YouTube 24/7 and also on the East Tennessee Weather app. More live cameras to come in the coming days. We're going to let this one sit for a little bit, make sure it's stable because it's a new camera I'm using. But soggy and IFR conditions, instrument conditions at Monroe County Airport here this morning. So if you're a general aviator and you're a VFR, no flying today, tomorrow, and likely not the case early Saturday morning. So those planes are going to be grounded for most general aviators if you're VFR and not IFR. Instrument is IFR. VFR is visuals. I am a VFR pilot, not an IFR pilot. I always wanted to get my instrument rating, but never quite made it there. But that's okay. Scott Irwin, welcome to the show this morning. 5,700ths of an inch of rain for this event, 4,500 since midnight. Rain rate was 700ths an inch per hour in Timbercrest, West Knoxville. I know where Timbercrest is. Hey, Scott, do you happen to know a guy in Timbercrest by the name of Tim Kuhn? Let me know if you know Tim Kuhn, Scott. He lives in Timbercrest as well. We almost moved to Timbercrest, actually. Great part of East Tennessee. I love that part of West Knoxville. Ashley Stokey loves the Happy Gilmore reference. I've got references for days on movies. One of my favorite movies is Airplane. Probably hands down. That and Spaceballs. Can you tell what kind of movies I like? What about Blazing Saddles? Have you ever seen Blazing Saddles? I like slapstick comedy. Mel Brooks is great. Hospital, what is it? It's a big building with patients in it, but that's not important right now. Name that movie. Kayla says, yes, mine two are complete opposites. I remember seeing your two at the weather station in Morristown. I remember them running around. So definitely athletic. Yes, he is. I mean, listen, he comes on his bike every single day. And it's funny because we've gotten my son a tutor to help him along in school a little bit more, because when you get somebody to help your kids, sometimes it works a little bit better. Anyways, he was really upset the other night that we had a tutor coming to the house. Or no, we were going to go meet the tutor at the library. And he was really upset. And one thing I asked him, I finally got it out of him, but I was like, hey, what's wrong, buddy? Why are you so upset about having somebody come help you learn so you can become a better student and a better person and a better human being? And finally got it out of him. He goes, but that's an hour out of my day that I won't be able to play. Oh, the kid just wants to play outside all the time. He comes home from school. Can I go on a bike ride? Absolutely. Go on a bike ride. That is what I love about where we live. Our kids can hop on a bike, go right around the neighborhood. It is fantastic. It really is what I grew up with. And I'm not saying I want my kids to have what I grew up with, because that's not the case. I know a lot of us as parents say, you want your kids to have more than what we had as kids. And some of us were privileged. Some of us were not. Maybe some of us are more privileged now than what you were when you grew up, which is a lot of times the case. And that's why sometimes parents go above and beyond. I've got friends who go above and beyond for their kids. I want to give them everything because I didn't have anything as a kid. To each their own, right? To each their own. But I don't know where I was going with that. Lost my train of thought. But anyway, so one of my goals was to have my kids grow up in a neighborhood where they could ride their bikes, run over to their friend's house, say hi, come home at, dinner time and do the homework and bath time and go to bed. That is a good childhood for sure. Seth says, free the beards. Free them. They are free. Seth, post a picture on eastTN on the Witcher's Pictures link on the East Tennessee Weather app. Let's see if it's, what your beard looks like this morning. Let's see if we've got any good photos here to share with you. Here's a couple great photos. Beth Cresswell. Oh, this is amazing, my friends. This is the kind of stuff. And soon we're working on being able to get this online at eastTNweather.com, where you'll be able to see everybody's pictures. So I got to work through that. She says that's Tuesday morning. The sunrise from the Foothills Parkway in Walland, and that is gorgeous. We also had Chris talking to us yesterday about Mexico Beach, so here's her photo. Beautiful shot of Mexico Beach in Florida, and that is all we have this morning, at least for photos, right? At least for photos. Let's take you back outside and show you what it looks like in Hardin Valley this morning. Soggy, slow going, overcast gray skies. That's going to be with us all day long. But it is time to dance, my friends. And today's holidays on the 14th day of November. Of course, we're going to celebrate events and birthdays today. So anybody celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Make it the best day of your life. It is National Seatbelt Day. Can you imagine back in the day when we didn't wear seatbelts? Seatbelts and safety sometimes is a funny thing to me. Because there was a time that we didn't have seatbelts in cars, right? Any of you remember those days? I don't know. But Tom, you did not get 6.8 inches of rainfall at the airport, did you? No, that seems near to impossible. Go check your rain gauge again there, buddy. I don't think we were expecting 7 inches of rainfall. Maybe 0.68, maybe 0.68 inches. Let's see if you can recover from that. Because I don't think we got 6.8 inches of rainfall last night, Tom. So it always makes me think about it, and I talk about this because I go back to the skiing time. I grew up skiing without a helmet. Well, now if you go to the ski resorts, everybody wears a helmet. There was a transition when I was in college that all of a sudden people started wearing helmets. It's like, of course, why would we not wear helmets skiing? It can be a dangerous sport. We wear helmets on a bicycle. We wear helmets in a race car. We wear helmets if we're skydiving. We wear helmets if we go into a burning building or construction zone, right? We wear helmets for things. This is our noggin. Why would we not wear helmets? At what point in the game are we going to wear helmets in the cars? I kid. We're not going to do that. All right. It's also National Family PJ Day. Aw. Love that. Does your family do any matching PJs for Christmas? That would be a good question. Kimberly, I don't have the mugs quite yet. No, you don't need to clean. You don't need to clean it. It'll dry off. It's just the nature of the business of having a camera when it rains, right, Tom? Tom's asking about the camera down at Monroe County Airport. But anyways, all right. So it's also one of my favorite days, National Spicy Guacamole Day. I mean, I'll take guacamole. I don't necessarily need it spicy. I don't do a lot of spice. I love flavor, but not heat, if that makes sense. So I'll do the guacamole. Guacamole is like one of my favorite things to make. It's one of my favorite things to eat. I could eat 1,000,000 pounds of guacamole. And it's funny how if you were to ever sit down and just, okay, like, when the guacamole's out of the table, you just go and just keep dipping, and just, next thing you know, I think it's funny if you've seen it on social media, the memes about guacamole and chips and salsa at Mexican restaurants, and how many of you would actually sit down and eat like 10 tortillas, just tortillas? Nobody, right? But how many of you could eat 10 tortillas worth of chips eating salsa and guacamole at a Mexican restaurant? Or at home, of course. It's kind of funny, right? Kind of funny. Let's see. So I think it's kind of funny how things work out like that. All right. It's also, National Pickle Day. There we go. Anybody like pickles? My wife loves pickles. Big shout out to Janelle this morning. She likes pickles. So let's see. Oh, you do know Tim Coon. There we go. I used to work with Tim Coon over at the TV station a long time ago, for many, many years. I actually tried to get him to make some music for East Tennessee Weather, knowing that he cuts music. I was like, maybe you could give me some music, but he's more electronica and stuff like that. So it did not quite work out. Carcane says, I got my East Tennessee Weather shirt on. Yay! And you need an umbrella this morning as well. By the way, my merch shop is open. Umbrellas, hats, t-shirts, and sweatshirts are on there right now. Good morning, Debbie. How are you this morning? It's Friday Eve, Aaron. Good morning, Jerry. How are you this morning? Thanks for joining me on Facebook every single day. I appreciate you. All right. Let's see here. Betty says the beer's looking good. Thank you. I appreciate it. A little bit behind on chat. Love pickles, says Betty. Ooh, good luck, Buck. Good luck, Buck. If you win some money, bring me some money back. I'm just trying to read through everything. Let's see. Kathy says my wife, my mom's first car had no back seat. As a toddler, I sat on a stool and hung onto the back of the front seat. No seat belts, no seats either. This was 1955. That's crazy. Says Kimberly says, Mike, people have been telling me a backseat person doesn't have to wear a seatbelt. Is this true? I don't think that is true. I think the law is that you need to wear seatbelts all the time. Oh, there we go, Tom. Not 6.8, but 0.68. That makes a little bit more sense, my friend. Oh, time for breakfast, is it, Krista? Time for breakfast? Maybe. Maybe so. Chris says, we never wore seatbelts in the back seat. No seatbelts in my 67 Firebird. Seatbelts were not mandatory in vehicles until 1968. That's good to know. I didn't know that. You should order them. You could order them before that. Isn't that funny? I think we need seatbelts in the car, everybody. Let's just order some seatbelts and get those installed. Betty says she loves guacamole. Who doesn't love guacamole? And she loves pickles. You like dill or sweet pickles? I prefer the dill pickles. Sweet pickles on some things, right? Like sweet pickles in, it's like tuna fish or egg salad. I like it then. Scott says, click it or ticket. That's right. Got to have those seat belts on. Of course, your kids can't ride in the front seat until a certain age or a certain pounds or certain weight or certain height. So, yeah, it's funny that you say that, Kimberly, actually. I've always thought that myself. There is a reason I've heard. There is a reason why school buses don't have seatbelts. But it is kind of silly to me that we're busing kids all over town. And if I had a car packed full of kids and I got pulled over and none of them had seatbelts on, what am I going to do? I'm going to get a ticket, right? But yet our kids don't wear seatbelts on the school buses? Anybody know the exact reason for that? I had heard that if they're in seatbelts and they're younger kids and they get in a wreck, it's like unsafe to have them in seatbelts or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure for sure. I could not say one way or the other. There we go. Renee says if there's a fire, you can't get them out. So that makes sense. So that's kind of essentially what I said, I guess. But still kind of a strange thing, right? That goes on to other strange laws and rules in the world. While some things, it's like back in the day. Like this is totally different, but kind of the same. You have rules for one thing, but something similar to that, you don't have rules. So like UT campus used to be a dry campus, right? Never served alcohol on campus during football games or whatnot, during concerts. But it's like a double-edged sword conundrum thing because yet you can party on campus on a Saturday during football games, but you can't during the weekday when school's in. Or like even before they had alcohol, the box seats in Neyland and or in Thompson Bowling, if you had box seats, you could bring alcohol in, but they didn't serve alcohol there. It's like there's certain things in life, to some things that make you go, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Food for thought this morning. It's ridiculous. There's no seatbelts, she says. Seth says, as an old bus driver, that's right. I forgot you used to drive buses back in the day, Seth. Imagine kids using them to swing and hit other kids. Ooh, didn't think about that one. Because sometimes those bus drivers, you got to give them some grace. They've got 20, 30, 40 kids on a bus, however many kids are on a bus. Not everyone gets along. Buses can be crazy, Oldest kids in the back, youngest kids in the front. Those are the rules. Remember I told you about my bus story about punching my first kid and the only person I've ever punched in my life? My next door neighbor, because he pulled my hair. Because he was sitting in the back seat. And he was not supposed to be there because he was several years younger than the older kids. And he wouldn't move. Toby Usaglio was his name. Sometimes you just can't forget people back in the day, right? Right? Yeah, I'm sure we're all down that road at one point in the game, Buck. Could have used to choke a few kids out there that were bullies. Oh, the bullies, I tell you. Never want the bullies, do we? Hopefully your kids don't get bullied. That's no fun. Anyways, we're going to wrap up the show. It's 7:32 right now. Again, slow going on the interstate system this morning. And that's going to be the case here through the morning hours. The rain slowly comes to an end throughout the day. Clouds stick around through Friday, probably Saturday morning as well. Probably some dense fog early Sunday morning, and dew points drop throughout the day on Sunday. But, of course, we're tracking our next storm system as we head into next week. I'll break it down with your forecast coming up with the 24-hour Weather Channel. I always like to send you back there just in case you came in late and you missed any of the forecasts, but you got all the fun. Well, it's a twofer, my friends. You need them both. Don't forget to like and subscribe everything you see on social media. It really helps populate the platform. We are organically growing and growing rapidly every single day, thanks to you. If you don't have the app, download it today. I've got links at the top of the website, eastTNweather.com, or just search eastTNweather, all one word. It'll get you everything you need to know on a daily basis. Try to stay as dry as you can today. We'll see you back here for Wake Up with Witcher as we wrap up this week on this good old finally Friday. Have a great day.
From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
Well, it sure is a soggy start to this Thursday morning. Good morning. Sure hope you have a great day. If you're getting ready to hit the road, make sure you travel safely here this morning. The rain shower is not going to be with us all day long, but the clouds are likely to stick around all the way through about, say, Saturday morning time frame. Let's talk about the high temperatures from yesterday because temperatures are going to continue to come on down here over the next 24 to 48 hours, over the next several days anyways. So we were just still trending above average. 69 degrees was the high in Knoxville, 63 in Crossville, 68 Chattanooga, and 65 in the Tri-Cities area. But we've been seeing the rain showers, as I mentioned. They're not going to last all day. The heaviest batch of rain moves its way on out this morning. As we get into the lunch hour, likely to have most of the rain exit the area. But then the winds shift to the north and northwest, and we'll have a little bit of energy still sticking around. Can't rule out a couple of light showers. But the bulk of the moisture, again, moves out throughout the morning hours. Everybody's gotten wet, and we've seen some decent amount of rain. Some areas have already received over an inch of rain. Some areas, not nearly as much. And we start the morning off with temperatures in the 40s and the 50s. By lunchtime, we're not going to climb too much. we're only going to be in the 50s and low 60s thanks to the clouds and the rain. So it's a very slow warm up, and therefore our forecast high temperatures will be nearly 10 degrees cooler today than what we had yesterday as well, thanks to the cloud coverage and the rain showers this morning. Not to mention a little bit of pocket of cool air moving on through. So that's going to give us a mild evening tonight, but again, it should be dry. I'll go partly to mostly cloudy. Again, I don't think we're going to see a ton of sunshine here over the next, say, 2 days. Watch as the progression of the storm system moves its way on out. That northwesterly flow sets up shop. Clouds stick around all the way through Friday. Heading into the weekend, though, more sunshine does return as high pressure dominates up across the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley. So do anticipate quite a bit of sunshine throughout the afternoon on Saturday, and that will last all the way through Sunday and Monday before our next weather maker moves its way on in, and that potentially could bring us the coldest air of the season. I'll highlight that coming up here in just a moment. Let's talk about the tropics for a second. Tropical Depression 19 is just kind of slowly working its way towards the Yucatan Peninsula as it works its way through there all the way through next Tuesday. And then where it goes, there's still a lot of unknowns. I don't think this is going to be a major storm by any stretch of the imagination, but model guidance still picks up some of this energy and moves its way closer to, say, right around the Big Bend of Florida. So from Tampa through the Big Bend, maybe. But again, we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so temperatures stay on the cooler side today and tomorrow, then gradually climb. High pressure builds on in. Temperatures warm above average for the weekend and into the start of next week. But remember, we've got that next system heading our way. Temperatures start to fall on Wednesday, and they'll fall even more as we get into Thursday and Friday. This is a good sign that not a good sign, but the dew points will stay elevated. So yesterday we were talking about Wednesday, maybe those dew points falling. Looks like it's been delayed a little bit. Probably Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, those dew points will come crashing on down into the 20s and 30s. And so that's going to allow for some chillier morning lows. We'll start that process next Thursday, but we still have a couple mornings of some chilly temperatures. So if you have any outdoor plans early Saturday, we're talking low temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Big old ball of cold air, big trough of low pressure going to be slowly heading our way. There's still a lot of unknowns, and this is all through next week. So this takes us through next Thursday. And then when you look at your forecast highs on Thursday, notice they're going to drop into the 50s with some 30s and 40s to our north and west. This cold pocket of air continues to slowly work its way on in. I'm not necessarily saying that we're going to have highs in the 40s, just the general idea. The trend is going to be trending colder. So we could have the coldest air of the season. And of course, you can stay on top of the latest weather forecast every single day with the East Tennessee Weather app. It's your one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. Current conditions, day parts, interactive radar giving you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. And of course, all your access to your daily forecast weather updates, 1 Minute with Witcher, and the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee. We sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day. Do travel safely this morning. Track the rain with the interactive radar and check back in and see how things are evolving throughout the afternoon and the next several days. Have a great day.